There were four main points that came out of the Online Retail 2016 report. The one is the growth in online retail we saw in 2015, which was 26%. And the number that reached was 7.5 billion rand. So a key thing to bear in mind when it sounds like a big number is that's still well below 1% of total retail in South Africa. But the other key numbers were the forecasts for 2016. And the growth forecast is 20%, and the amount that will take online retail to is 9 billion rand. And that for the first time passes what's really a psychological barrier of 1% of total retail sales in South Africa. The growth is the result of momentum rather than anyone doing anything particularly well or doing it right. And that momentum comes from the number of experienced internet users in South Africa growing every year. So when you look back 5 years to how many people were online then and the growth that you saw then, that growth translates 5 years later into growth in the number of experienced users on the internet. So at the end of 2015, for example, you would have had the people who were online in 2010, which was around 5.3 million people, suddenly being online for 5 years or more, making them an experienced user base of 5.3 million. And that then growing in the subsequent year to 6.8 million. So that's massive growth in terms of experienced users of the internet. And once you're an experienced user, you then feel more comfortable about shopping online, about transacting, about using more advanced tools on the internet. And the result of that is that we're seeing significant growth in online retail to the extent of 20 to 26% a year, but on the back of people gaining confidence in the medium rather than there suddenly being something new to buy online. Mobile is still in its infancy in South Africa. There's a great misunderstanding of mobile shopping in this country. When you ask people if they've bought anything on their mobile devices, generally speaking, they'll say yes, because they bought airtime on their devices. But that's not retail and that's not shopping. So the bulk of online retail in South Africa is still via desktops. And that means that most of the people shopping online are those who've been around for quite a while, and it's also not the mass market that is coming onto the internet via smartphones for the first time. So the smartphone is not yet driving online retail. It will start, and it's probably beginning now, but it's still a very small proportion of total online retail. The big challenge for little players and newcomers is to take on the experienced, established and well-resourced players. So if you look at a Take-A-Lot, for example, that bought Mr. Delivery purely in order to be able to deliver more efficiently, more quickly and at lower cost, it's very difficult to take that on. So the best way to take it on is to join forces with them rather than to try to oppose them and become one of the suppliers that sells through them instead of competing against them. That does represent a challenge in keeping your margins high and your costs low, but it also means you can probably service your customers better. The real challenge for the little guy is finding the logistical resources to enable them to serve their customers in the best way possible. Buying and selling products is not a problem at all. It's getting those products to customers in the quickest and cheapest way possible. That is the big challenge. And the little guys have an even bigger challenge than that, because they don't have the logistical chain that enables them to fulfill orders quickly and cheaply.